Your feelings are lying to you. Okay, that's an exaggeration. Feelings are really important, but if you're just listening to them blindly, they could be leading you astray. That's right. Your good feelings, if you're just listening to them and basing your actions on them, could be leading you on a path of further unhappiness and fulfillment. And your bad feelings in quotes, your more negative feelings like fear, anxiety, or discomfort, if listened to, could be chasing you away from things that are actually good for you. Thankfully, in recent years, acceptance of all of our feelings has increased. This is a relief, especially for our male population, where certain feelings were more shameful or shunned more than others. Without acceptance and the ability to listen and sit and not repress our feelings, we don't have the ability to personally grow from them or listen to the messages that they're delivering to us from our subconscious mind. So what's lurking in your subconscious mind, you might ask? Why, it's your limiting beliefs and previous programming that you might unknowingly be running on, picked up in childhood or adolescence. So with that, I'd like to welcome you to my video series on the cost of your limiting beliefs. And this is part 2, how they are impacting your feelings and therefore impacting the decisions you make throughout the day. And these decisions could be leading you to a path of further fulfillment or a path that's cycling through further unhappiness. Before I got any further, let me take the chance to introduce myself. My name is Sarah Tomlinson, girl with many secrets, artist, advocate, and healer, here to inspire and empower you on your healing journey. And if you like my content, take the chance to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications every time a new video is posted. I don't know about you, but if you're at home doing other things, especially if you have a cat, they tend to get a little bit miffed if you're paying attention to not them. So this is my way of making amends while I'm filming videos with my dear cat, and she is a rescue and her name is Aloha. Aloha is her classy name, which means the angel of sorrow and compassion, but Mushy Baby is her cute name, which just means that she's very mushy and she has a very big belly. So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing and talking about the relationship between your feelings and your subconscious mind and limiting beliefs. And we're going to be talking about the costs of this if you've never unpacked and looked at your limiting beliefs, which is 1, making decisions that either lead to further unfulfillment, and 2, cycling you through a roller coaster of emotions throughout the day, which make it really hard to reach the higher level and good feeling emotions like joy, love, and inner peace. And then I'm going to be giving you 1 tool to approach your feelings and start to unpack them in a curious way, which will help you understand the messages that they're carrying and start you on the path to reprogramming your subconscious mind. Your limiting beliefs are being stored in your subconscious mind and in your body and your nervous system, but I'll get into that a little bit later. This is mostly under the radar of your conscious mind, and this is actually done to make you more efficient throughout the day. We receive so much stimulus from the outside world, and it's so much to take in that our brain sorts it, and only 1% of that information actually gets processed by our conscious mind, and 99% of the stimuli that we are receiving goes straight back to our subconscious mind to be quickly processed, and then it relays the most important information to our conscious mind. It either does this through some quick thoughts, but it mostly does this through feelings, which is why they're so important. Now, what it's actually being processed on is our programs from our previous experiences and perspectives. And if we've never worked on our limiting beliefs, these are actually picked up on in childhood and our adolescence. If you're more curious about this, I did a whole video, and that was cost 1 in this series. And if you'd like to check that out, how limiting beliefs are making us live in a more past version of ourselves, you can check that out right here. So any belief that we have inside our subconscious mind is being used to sort the information that we're receiving. We're constantly judging, but we're actually unaware of our judging mind, our subconscious processing. But it's doing this to make our conscious mind efficient when it comes to decision making. So our previous beliefs and truths about the world are judging the information that we're taking in and sorting it as really quickly as either good for us or bad for us. Instead of showing up as conscious thoughts about what our beliefs are, they're actually showing up as feelings in our reality. So we're experiencing either fear or happiness or excitement or anxiety or discomfort from the stimuli that we are receiving. And this is the important point here. We don't know about our beliefs consciously, but we experience them through our feelings. We feel our beliefs. So our limiting beliefs often give us feelings of fear, anxiety, discomfort, and these are often referred to as negative or bad feelings, but they are actually extremely valuable to us. And our more expansive beliefs tend to make us feel good inside, and we tend to go towards the things that make us feel good. However, if we've never unpacked what's lurking in our subconscious mind, we could be running on truths where we're running to things that make us feel good that actually cause us harm, and running away from things that actually do us good. Our feelings are originally given to us as part of our animal system to help protect us and keep us safe throughout the day. But in our modern world, it's kind of backfired. A lot of the time, we are actually pretty safe in our daily environments. So we experience these resistance and fear-based feelings that our subconscious mind is firing to us towards things that are a perceived threat, but not actually a threat. But if we actually look closely at the things that are summoning these fear-based feelings, we look at them with curiosity. Am I actually physically being threatened by this thing? Most of the time, no. We are emotionally and psychologically threatened because of the limiting beliefs that we're storing in our subconscious mind. Conversely, affirmative or positive feelings are given to us by our subconscious mind as a way of indicating, yes, go in that direction. The problem is, if we've never sort of unpacked the programs that we're running on, our subconscious mind could be running towards things that actually harm us in the long run. This is the benefit of healing and working on clearing limiting beliefs, that we can actually welcome and receive things in our life that are actually good for us, that maybe we had just a bad experience in from childhood. And what's more, unpacking, clearing, and healing our limiting beliefs means that our mood is actually sustained with real fulfillment and joy throughout the day. Real benefit of clearing your limiting beliefs in regards to your emotions and your feelings is being able to judge the stimuli that you're receiving accurately as the adult you and not the adolescence you. Hi. So that's a little bit about how feelings are related to your subconscious mind and your limiting beliefs. Now I want to run through some examples that might give you some perspective on how this is playing out in your life. I want to first look at a very simplistic example, which is a relationship with food. I entered adulthood as an overweight adult. I was obese. And it was getting to the point where it made me really unhappy with myself. I remember the day when I looked down and I had a plate of cheese and crackers and cookies, and I was studying for university, and my belly was going over my jeans, and I didn't remember it ever doing that before. And I immediately stepped back and I was like, whoa, and I put the snack back. So what was really going on below the surface? I was judging my diet based on what made me feel good and happy, what was pleasurable. This was like carbohydrates, cheese, and sweets in my early 20s. So choosing foods based solely on what made me happy was leading me to a path of further unfulfillment. And foods that I didn't like so much when I looked at them, like broccoli, asparagus, I wasn't eating as much, and I actually learned to build a positive association. Where does that negative association with vegetables come in? In our childhood, we have very sensitive taste buds, and foods like asparagus and broccoli could have actually tasted bitter. And in our brain, they led us to believe that those foods weren't good for us. Well, that gets stored in our subconscious mind. So later on as an adult, we are attracted to foods that actually make us unhealthy and not attracted to foods that actually create a healthy body overall. Another example in real life, well, let's say a friend comes to you one day and invites you to a dance class, and immediately you freeze in fear and discomfort. I've lost my cat. You have this feeling of fear, shame, or guilt that comes up, and you have an immediate aversion to going to this dance class with your friend. This came up a lot in my early 20s when it came to physical activity. Later on, I realized that this came from negative experiences that I had in physical education class, where I was embarrassed in front of other people, I was bullied. Sometimes I even had negative experiences with my teachers. So I had these negative experiences when I was a teenager, and physical activity was linked to shame, guilt, fear, and discomfort. So every time I was brought to a physical activity as an adult, I had these feelings of fear and guilt and shame being brought up, and I ran away from them. I switched my programming to realize that physical activity is actually completely safe, and going to a gym as an adult is a completely different experience than walking into a gym as a teenager. So now let's get to the second part of this video, which is how your limiting beliefs are affecting your feelings and perhaps causing a roller coaster of emotions throughout the day, which is negatively impacting your choices even further. So the example I want to give is actually a student in high school. We can all probably relate to this if we've been to school. So let's picture a student, and he's picked up some beliefs about himself from his early experiences in school. Well, in his very first experiences in school, maybe when he was 6 or 7, he picked up that he wasn't as smart as other people. This could have come from a variety of different ways. Maybe he had a teacher that really ragged on him and they didn't get along, and so he shied away from his studies. That year, he fell behind and thus believed he wasn't smart as other people. So these are the programs that are running in his subconscious mind already. I give a boy in this example because it kind of takes me back to when I was a high school teacher. I taught in a really rough neighborhood, and as a young teacher, I don't know how they thought this was a good idea. They gave me a lot of the tough remedial classes, and these classes were full of about 80% adolescent boys, and they just didn't believe in themselves. I guess it's kind of stuck in my heart. What I saw is somebody who goes to school and he might even skip first class because it's science, and science is challenging for him because he's not as smart as other people. Already he doesn't try because he doesn't feel good in that class. we go towards things that make us feel good. So sometimes he attends science, sometimes he doesn't, based on his feelings. Well, his second class is PE. Of course he attends PE. He likes PE. He's physical, he's active, and it has nothing to do with his perceived intelligence. So already through the day, the first period is bringing him down to shame, guilt, and avoidance. The second period is bringing him up to elation. So the roller coaster is already starting. Lunchtime happens. Of course, he gets to hang out with his friends. He's up. English class hits. Maybe he even skips it to avoid feeling bad. Maybe he goes to it and he struggles through a novel study and he doesn't believe he's as fast a reader as everyone else. Again, slam down that roller coaster and hits down to the ground and doesn't feel good about his studies. Last block is woodworking. He likes woodworking. He likes working with his hands. It makes him feel good because he doesn't have any limiting beliefs. Bam, up again in that roller coaster. And he's off school. Maybe he's feeling good again. Maybe he goes home, but bam, hits down again with another negative emotion as his parents rag on him because they received a phone call from the science teacher about his poor grades and him skipping school. You can kind of picture this roller coaster of emotions going throughout the day. Doesn't feel good. And we avoid things that make us feel bad about ourselves, and we move towards things that make us feel good about ourselves based on the programs that are running in our subconscious mind. Here's the important thing. All emotions have a certain vibration and energy that affect our entire health of our system. The really high vibrating emotions are love, joy, inner peace, clarity. The really low emotions are like guilt and shame. Shame, in terms of energy and vibration and what it does to our body, is just a little bit higher in energy than death. And this is why we avoid things that make us feel bad. So our system with limiting beliefs could be roller coastering through energy and vibration up towards feeling real life and fulfillment, like emotions like joy or love, or bam, down to a feeling of almost death in our system. This is the real cost of limiting beliefs. Well, our very animal body is in the business of protecting ourselves from the feeling of real threat and death. In this case, it's perceived threat from feelings like shame. So we avoid those things at all costs. And this is why limiting beliefs are really dangerous in our lives, because we're actually avoiding things that could be good for our lives because they're inspiring thoughts of shame because our limiting beliefs from our past. That's bad enough as it is. We develop these avoidance tactics and we're kind of stepping and tipping toe through life based on avoiding the things that make us feel bad about ourselves. Imagine clearing limiting beliefs and we don't avoid situations or people anymore because they don't inspire those feelings of guilt, shame, or just not feeling good enough about ourselves. If we remove and clear limiting beliefs and reprogram them, we remove some of those dips that we experience throughout the day. And this gives us a real opportunity for an even feeling of fulfillment and joy. If we're constantly hitting lows, it makes it really hard to reach feelings of love and joy to begin with. We might reach a little bit to them, but likely if we've sort of hit on feelings that are close to death, the chance of reaching them is quite low. So what happens throughout our day? Well, of course we want to feel good. So we start filling in our day with surface feeling pleasures. This could even be TV. It could be alcohol. It could be distractions on our phone. Maybe we text a friend and get some validation. These things do not lead to lasting fulfillment. And then we wonder why so many people struggle with true fulfillment and happiness. I'm not saying it's possible to get rid of all of your negative feelings. Instead, we change our association with all of the feelings that come up. When a negative emotion does come up, we approach it with excitement. Oh, this thing that I have a negative emotion towards, fear, anxiety, discomfort, shame, guilt. Oh my gosh, I can change this. I should probably be going in this direction. If it's inspiring these feelings, I've just found another limiting belief, and I can clear that and improve myself so I don't experience these feelings again. Now I'm going to give you a tool that will help build awareness to what's going on behind your feelings. But first, I'd like to hear from you in the comments. Do you notice these feelings that are coming up in your life, and how are you reacting to them? Are you actually running towards things that could be leading to further unfulfillment and running away from things that could actually be good for you? I'd love to hear about it. Let me know below. Now on to that tool for some personal development and further awareness. And this is called Socratic questioning. Socratic questioning is a process of questioning, ideally between 2 or 3 people, but you can do it with yourself in your own mind, that digs further into your consciousness about why we do the things that we do. It dives deeper into the values and beliefs that are behind our decisions. Let's look at the first step in this process, which is no matter the emotion, learn to celebrate it and welcome it. It's a chance to understand yourself further. The second step is don't suppress your emotions. Let it run through you. Feel it. We need a chance for it to run through our body and our consciousness if we're ever going to understand some of the thoughts and meaning behind the emotion. Here's a chance to look at yourself with curiosity and wonder, instead of even guilt or shame for having that emotion at all. What I really recommend is getting a journal. When we write out our thoughts and our beliefs, we have less of a chance to kind of bullshit ourselves on our real answers. So I really enjoy the process of writing things out. Get yourself a journal or 2, write out the questions, write out the answers, and that's how we really start digging into reprogramming our subconscious mind. So the third step is to look at the situation that caused the emotion. And this is when we sort of remove ourselves from the situation. Oftentimes we focus too much on the source of where the emotion came from, the person, the situation, the event, and we blame that event for causing discomfort. No matter the emotion, they are bringing a gift to you of further introspection and awareness of what's going on in your subconscious mind. The situation is important, but step back from it to the point where you can objectively look at why it caused this emotion. Here are some questions you might want to ask yourself and journal them out and journal the answers. Do I want to feel this way? What are the consequences of this emotion, my reaction, and an action that I want to take to this event? Is this the future self that I actually want to be? What thoughts are coming up behind this emotion? Why am I feeling anxious? So for example, in the dancing situation I gave earlier, if someone invited me to a dancing class and I feel fear, I might be thinking, oh, I'm too heavy. People are going to laugh at me. I'm going to feel stupid. Maybe the instructor is going to be mean. All of these thoughts are really important and should be written down. And then we further unpack those original thoughts from the emotion. Behind these emotions, we might not be feeling good enough about our body. We might not be feeling worthy enough in comparison to other people. Then here's the big question. We get to sort of dive deep into our history and ask, where are these thoughts and worries coming from? So you should be writing these out in your journal. This is a chance to go back in time and retrieve a past version of yourself, bring it up, clear a limiting belief, and reprogram it with the actual expansive and confidence-building belief that you want to have in your life. Another question you can ask is, what's changed between now and then? Can I even relate to that person? Are these beliefs even valid in this situation? And here's the last but really important question. What would I rather feel and believe in this situation? This is why it's really important to write them down. You can look at your list of worries and concerns and ask yourself, do I really want this to be true for me? Is it even true at my core? And the most important thing to ask is, what would I rather believe and think and feel? This is when we get to write down a new set of beliefs, a new set of feelings that we'd rather have instead to this situation. And from these, we can possibly make new beliefs that form even affirmations that start reprogramming our subconscious mind. We get a chance to clear limiting beliefs that are causing these negative emotions and replace them with expanding, more positive and more true beliefs that will cause better feelings when this situation comes up again. You have the power to rewrite your subconscious with beliefs that actually serve your mind. And this is where true empowerment and confidence comes from. If you don't feel good about believing you're not worthy, about believing you're not good enough, you get to rewrite, I am good enough. I am worthy, just the way I am. I'm doing well in my life. I am likable. I am interesting. I can do anything I set my mind out to do. These beliefs even just feel better than something like, I'm just not good enough. Unpacking and taking a closer look this way at the emotions that come up will help you understand what's going on in that subconscious mind. This will not only lead to a day that has less of a roller coaster of a mood, but it will also lead to making decisions and actually heading towards our uncomfortable feelings, which leads to decisions that make us feel more fulfilled down the road and creating a life where we are excited to wake up to every single day. You have the power to understand, unpack, and develop your feelings and make them work for you. This was part 2 to the cost of limiting beliefs, which is the impact they have on your feelings. Again, I'd like to remind you, if you enjoyed this video, to hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications every time a new video is posted. And tell me in the comments, what did you like about this video? What resonated with you? And if you'd like to dive deeper into how clearing limiting beliefs, I'm leaving my Linktree link in the description below. I run limiting belief workshops and various clearing workshops throughout the year. You can check out that link to see if there's a recent workshop on the schedule and sign up for it. Meet me there and we'll clear something and head to a more expanding, happier version of yourself. For now, I'm Sarah Tomlinson, the girl with many secrets. I just wanted to send you lots of love on your healing journey, and that's it for now. I love you, and I hope you have an amazing day.